Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Springboks are the winners of the 2021 British and Irish Lions series. What a game. What a game. There's no other sort of way of putting it, really. And I'm kind of still in awe and still a little bit emotional about the entire thing because it's just been a really strange year, and it's been a really tough year, I think, for many people. And I think that it's funny how in this country, when everything sort of always seems to be going downhill, when everything always seems to be, people seem to be despairing, how many times do we see it when South Africa is on its knees and when South Africa needs something to pick it up, when there's always so much reason to be miserable and to be sort of pessimistic about this country? How many more times does this team have to give us a reason to smile? How many more times must they do it? 1995, 2019. A few weeks ago, we thought this series was potentially going to be called off because of the rioting and the looting and stuff happening in this country. And, on the back of that, the Springboks have now, when there's been no sport in this country, very little sport in this country, very little sporting success. We've had a really disappointing Olympics, for example, and then yet, when we needed the most, the Springboks pulled it out against all odds, literally against all odds. The Springboks pulled it out and gave us something to smile against. A phenomenal Test Series victory, and we can talk about the off-field stuff. There will be lots of bitter Lions fans. There will be talks about Rassie Russell as the water boy. There will be talks about playing the referee. There will be talks about lots and lots of things. But at the end of the day, we have witnessed a phenomenal Test match series, and the Springboks are the champions of it. They've done it. They have they've once again, against the odds, they have come with no Test match. I wouldn't say experience, but no Test match practice. One Test against Georgia, an SAA game against the Lions, an SAA game against the Bulls, and they've managed to pull together a side without World Player of the Year, Peter Steph du Toit, Rugby World Cup finalist, Dwayne Vermeulen, 2019, and Faf de Klerk, probably one of the most important players in the Springbok squad. Without those three players, the Springboks went out there tonight and won the game and won the series. Phenomenal. There's no other word to say it. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And, we're going to go through the player ratings and we're going to talk about it and stuff, but I just can't believe that we've done it, and that once again, written off. And I mean, people were predicting a 3-0 whitewash series. Sam Warburton, a former Lions captain, saying he doesn't see how the Springboks can come back from that 1-0 down, going 1-0 down, coming back, winning the series. You kind of sort of struggle to almost put it in words at times. It's just amazing how this team, this group of players. I mean, you think about the players that stood up. You think about Siya Kolisi being under pressure coming into the Test series. Lots of people saying he didn't deserve to start. He hasn't been the form player. He's not the best number 6. He shouldn't play. He was probably one of the best players on the pitch last weekend when we leveled the series. Trevor Nyakane was a player called quota and all these nonsense terms, saying why was he even in the squad in that first Test. Trevor Nyakane came off the bench in both tests and was arguably one of the most important contributions to the entire Test match. It's the players that that were under the most pressure that stood up throughout the series and really, really made a difference. And I think that just speaks volumes of the team and the environment that Springbok squad is that it really, they will say it can be us against the world, and we'll take it on, because they did. And what I want to say now, and I'm hoping that there are some Lions fans, I just want to say thank you, because the Lions offered us a really good series. The provincial games weren't great in terms of the score lines, and they were very, very much walkovers by a lot of the teams and stuff like that. But I've really enjoyed the series. For a series I couldn't get into the stadiums, for the series we couldn't go and be there and watch, I have thoroughly enjoyed watching this group of players play. Watching the Lions play, I think they've played some phenomenal rugby. They've had some really good moments. We've seen some massive performances. We've seen some of the best players in the world come to South Africa and show what they're about. We had 3 really good Test matches. And maybe, you can get stuck up on the style of rugby and saying that, it wasn't attractive rugby, and it was so boring. But at the end of the day, what we saw was 46 players every week putting their body on the line and giving every last inch that they can. And I don't think there's any player that didn't do it. You think of the small stories. Wyn Jones ruled out of the tour, coming back and playing all 3 tests. Not a winning captain, but think about that, how impressive that is. Somebody like Franco Moster being asked to play on the flank today and just absolutely dominating it. It's just been so many fantastic stories across the entire tour, and I just think it's been wonderful to watch. And it's sort of reminding me why, rugby and sport can just be so entertaining, because it's just so easy to watch and so easy to enjoy. So it's a bit of a rant to get things going, but I'm just sort of a little bit blown away by the entire thing. Mostly blown away by you guys, because I wanted to be in the stadiums. I wanted to go and watch these games. I had tickets. That's what I was so excited about. I was going to be in the stadiums watching this game, but then I couldn't do it. And so what did I do instead? We went live and we chatted and we had a good time. And you guys have made this series one of the most enjoyable months of my sort of, I don't know, I'm not even sure I call myself a bit of a sports journalist budding career, but it's been absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, let me go through some of the comments before, and thank you, big thank you to 2 new members. Chris Newcomb Bond, who I think was already a member during the stream, and then Daniel Ruthenberg, who I don't think I got to thank you. I think we went live. We finished our show just after that. So thank you very much for becoming a member. If you would like to become a member, it's the pinned comment. I'll chuck it in there now when we start doing the player ratings. If you'd like to become a member, I see there's quite a few people still voting and stuff like that. Go and vote. Go and give your take on the game and stuff like that. But so why don't I go through some of the comments and see what everybody's saying. So Daniel Ruthenberg, one of the latest members, says, awesome win. Now I can stick it up to all my colleagues in London all at once. Baron said, looking forward with Dwayne's imminent retirement. We desperately need to find an 8th man. Look, that's the next thing. Hey, we will enjoy this victory. And the Springboks, I'm sure, will enjoy the beers tonight. But Monday, it's a new day. We've got Rugby Championship next week. We're moving. There's not much time to actually enjoy what we've just done. But we can really definitely take the moment and really enjoy it. So Peter Gill says, go Mornay. I'm cracking open the old David Kramer records. Some of the rhetoric from the Lions fans has been absolutely gross. Makes this victory even better. All I can say is yay from Mark. Vic says, Colby, I'm a magician. Hooper says, woohoo. Chesnon's amazing. Rusty for president. Full marks to SF cheating with medics, water boys. Zero respect for the box. You see, if you're going to be that person, this is what I can't stand about sports fans. If you're going to be that person, then we really don't need you in the sport, And there would have been Springboks in the same sort of situation, but it's there's nothing worse in the world than a sore loser. So if you are going to be miserable and you're going to go and say, oh, it doesn't count, and you're cheating and stuff like that, take it on the chin. It was a great sporting spectacle. Enjoy it. Move on. Let's go on with life. One of the best block teams in the pro era, hands down. We could start talking about one of the best teams of all time if they continue sort of putting on these performances. Please remove that jersey. This will be probably our second last stream in our studio, this current studio. We'll have to change it up for the Rugby Championship, so don't stress. Amazing how without Faf, Dwayne, Archia, Peace, Victoria still stand toe-to-toe with the British and Irish Lions. We won whatever they come up with after. Must go home now. To the All Blacks, we're coming for you. Vic says I'm preparing a dry chicken for the salty British and Irish Lions fans. Evan was immense. Congrats, Box. Please be humble in victory. I don't think you need to brag. I don't think anybody needs to go out there and say we're so much better than the rest. I think let's just enjoy what we've done. So if you want to be sour about losing, be sour about losing. And I don't really like people who go over the top when winning. I think good banter is always good fun. But, I think that we must just enjoy the spectacle. I think that's what rugby is all about, isn't it? The fact that we can enjoy the game. And you obviously going to give it a little bit. And you're going to say, oh, we beat you. But I don't think there's any need to sort of have any animosity about it. Just enjoy the series. Laws Stain did it again. We'll talk about him. Agree. Done with it with so many stars. No thought. Evan was huge. Colby the Magic. Alpha, I live in the UK. Queen Elizabeth, please knock some searches and Colby for our Saffers. The third game was the best game I've seen in a long time. Referee was great too. Yeah, we'll talk about Matthew Raynell. And I think that on the whole, I was pretty happy with him, but I'm not happy with the TMOs. And I'm not happy with how often we are going to the TMO and how long it's taking. So I think that's becoming really, really poor. This Lions team was really good. They just came up against an incredible Bok team. Yeah, I think they were good. We won. Nothing else matters. Jokes aside, the British Lions showed up today. I was on the edge of my seat the whole game. It was a really good game. It was a phenomenal game. It was so good. I think that's the main thing. I have no more nails. I really can't wait to get on work on Monday and run to my colleague faces. I refuse to be humble and victory. Fight me. Thank you, Lions, for coming. It was great having you here. For now, it's time to celebrate. Hala, I'm going to say, I'm a Boka. Here come the Boka. PS, thanks for the early birthday present. Well, happy birthday, contender. These Reds are glum. Of course, they are. They're very right to be upset. Always outnumbered, never outgunned. Springbok forever. The series is good. Looking forward to the URC. That's another good point. I think it sets it up quite nicely. Great game. Well done, SA from Cameron. Kevin says, well done. Nail-biting stuff. You got it at the end. The Water Boy has beaten 4 countries. Morne, you beauty. Credit to the Lions for not going for the 3 points at the end. I think that's also another point. They went for the victory. The Lions weren't stepping down. They wanted to win. They weren't going to settle for a draw. And I think that must be commended, actually. Mario Tojo saw loser. If you check how he gave the Boks a handshake after the game, it was disgusting. I didn't see any of the post-match stuff. Khudum Booker says, JD, you're done. Morne deserves a 10. The North battle in losing. Do you think Stain will start at 10 next week? I don't. Amazing game and also amazing French ref. TMO, not good. Agreed. Even Jasper Beast. Morne kicked well, but the rest of his game is shaky. To me, this Lions team has the best players any Lions team has ever had. That just shows how good the Boks are. Let's acknowledge what the Lions brought to this game. They went for the win instead of 3. Finn Russell made the game exciting, and Duan, our secret agent, had some crucial knock-ons at the end. Congrats, Boks from England. Absolute monster of a team. I told you it was a joke. Thanks for reading my comment. I'll try to read all the comments. When they get a little bit out of hand, then it gets a bit difficult. But I'll try and read all the comments I can. And people are starting to slow down a bit on the player ratings, so we can get onto that. But I think, and let's talk about the British and Irish Lions, because credit to them. They could have gone for the draw. The entire game, they could have gone for the slow poison, but they wanted to be positive. They wanted to go for the 7 points. They wanted to go and try and make it a game. They wanted to make the series a series victory. And if they hadn't, then maybe we wouldn't be sitting here celebrating a victory. So it's a high risk, high reward thing. But I think that they made it quite clear from the first game when they went for that scrum, which actually won them the game, that they weren't here to draw a series. They've done that. They were here to try and win a series. And they probably lost it because of it. But I think if you ask them in 4 years' time, would you have drawn the series, or would you like to be known as the team that went for it? I think you want to be known as the team that went for it. I think a lot of credit to them. They wanted to go for the victory, and credit to them to do that, to have the bravery. It would have been very easy to have gone for the draw. So credit to having it. And I thought that Finn Russell was fantastic. I would have liked to have seen him more throughout the series, because I thought he was a really, really good addition today. So I'm just sort of reflecting on the tour, and we're supposed to go live only on Tuesday, but I'm almost tempted to do a late night stream tomorrow just to keep talking about this. I think we've had such a nice moment and stuff like that. So, but I probably won't do it, but we'll probably be live on Tuesday again. We're going to be doing some awards. So we'll be doing a British and Irish Lions series recap / awards show on Tuesday night, which should be quite fun. But Kiwis are behind the Boks. Sharks and Boks win made my weekend. Finn Russell, good player. And TAS Analytics says, remember, SA fans, if you guys hated Toje, it means he did his job. Exactly how every nation hates an Eben. Every team needs that guy. Other than the need, Toje had a great series. Yeah, I mean, it's the number 4 is always supposed to be the enforcer, in your face, very sort of confrontational type of player. And you're always going to have that. Both teams did a good job. Boks just slightly better at the end. Finn Russell, damn good. Great Bok team. Still World Cup winners. You have a great channel. Keep it up. Future looks bright for you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been so much fun doing this. Sorry, Lions, tried your best, but an Africa Lions hunt only successful 1 out of 10 against the Boks. Lured and Easter, best locks in the world. British and Irish Lions were brave. Man of the match. So we're gonna ask man of the match from you guys now. Russell was great. It was really good. Scott's justified with the angst in him not playing in the series. The Springboks coming and discipline was out of this world. Finn Russell played darn well tonight. Hopefully, I think Gatland never coached the Lions. How does he not play Finn Russell since the first test? Because he was injured. He was only available for this test. That was the problem with him. Wish we had another try in the game. So we won. We did win. Right. So before we go to the player ratings, I need nominations for man of the match. I think we can all agree that Finn Russell's probably in the running. So who else are we going with for man of the match? Give me some nominations. Give me some names. Probably Ches and Colby. He's called the try. Who else are we putting in the man of the match conversation? So we've got Finn Russell. I'm going to put Finn Russell in the man of the match. and we'll vote on it. Who's your guys' man of the match? And I can put, I think, 4 options. So I'm going to put Finn Russell in. And I think we can agree probably Ches and Colby as well. We need to find 2 more. For SA, I think Eben was the overall best player. Verly LaRue, Finn Russell, Mostert, Etzebeth, Mostert, Sia, Cheslin, Khaleesi, Monestein, Cheslin, Visa, Cheslin, Eben, Etzebeth, Colby, Eben. Yeah, we can go. I think we can add Eben. I think Eben Etzebeth had a very nice game. So we need 1 more of them. We need 1 more. I'm seeing quite a few calls for Mostert, a couple of calls for Khaleesi. Finn Russell, Eben. Yeah, so we're going with Mostert as our 4th option. Hey, I can add 1 more option. So I think we're going with Franco Mostert from the sounds of it. Yeah, we're going with Franco Mostert. Okay, so those are your 4 options. So get voting. So we'll go through the player ratings and then we'll come back and then we'll decide. Well, you guys can decide on who your man of the match was. I think Franco Mostert is probably the front runner for me for player of the series. I'll be interested to see who they give it to him, but I don't think, how can you look past just the ridiculous work rate Franco Mostert had from the SAA game to the 3 test? I thought he was bloody brilliant. And it'll be so nice to see a player of that sort of that dirty work get the player of the series. But let's go on to the player ratings, shall we? I'm going to start with the Lions. I see quite a few people are still rating, but I mean, let's sort of move on to it. We will have both the presses, by the way. We'll have Gatland and Jacques Dienebar, Sia Khaleesi. We'll have them up on the channel tonight, and then tomorrow I'm going to be releasing on Forever Rugby as well as my personal channel. I'm going to be releasing my reaction to the game, some of the highlights of me losing my shit and celebrating when we did win. So if you want a good laugh, go and check that out tomorrow. But let's do the player ratings, shall we? Right, so we're going to start with the Lions forwards. Yeah, there we go. Let me bring up some stats so we can talk about every individual player. Right, so we're going to start with Wyn Jones. Now, I thought Wyn Jones was actually quite good before he got injured. I thought that he was actually quite a big addition to the Lions. I think he was quite a big part to the reason why the Lions had dominance early on. So, I mean, you can never judge a front rower based on their stats. But he had 2 carries, 2 tackles. He played 44 minutes on return. So I thought it was good scrum time. I thought he was very good scrum time. I thought that I think he won a penalty, actually. I'm going to go to rugby pass as well so we can add to it. But I thought that Wyn Jones was pretty solid at scrum. So what are we thinking about Wyn Jones? I kind of sort of go with a 6 or a 7. And should sort of see what people have to say about him. I mean, I didn't really see him much in open play, I suppose, as a couple of comments are saying. It's probably the only thing about Wyn Jones. He is kind of a bit of a scrum specialist, a bit like Frans Maherba, although Frans Maherba gets his work done. Discipline, he conceded 1 penalty, so probably going with a 5 or 6, I reckon, at this stage for Wyn Jones. I'll probably go with a 6. I'm interested to see what you guys say. So we can go with 6 for Wyn Jones and see what it is. Kenny Coon says, well done to your boys, Daniel, at First Sports. Well worth the series victory. Lions should kick themselves to death as they had every chance to win again. But again, another example of picking players by name. Yeah, we'll have some more time to reflect on the Lions series and stuff like that. But I'll go with a 6 for Wyn Jones, and you guys have all agreed. Ken Owens, where are we sitting on Ken Owens? 6 carries, 6 tackles from Ken Owens. He didn't miss a tackle. He won a turnover as well. Didn't concede a penalty, did Ken Owens. He made 3 meters across 5 carries according to Rugby Pass. Also, again, didn't miss a tackle. Lineouts weren't too bad. I think he missed 1 or 2. I actually didn't think Ken Owens was fantastic. I thought I was kind of expecting more from him. Thought he'd be a little bit more solid. So Ken Owens probably also leaning towards a 6, I think. 5.8, so we're pretty close. Furlong, Probably also, I think the entire front row is probably a 6. I thought they were pretty good scrum time. I thought Tyke Furlong was 5 carries, 3 tackles, missed the tackle. Probably also a 6 from Tyke Furlong. People might go a bit higher, 5.8. So we're pretty close on those ones. Moving on to the locks, Mario Itoje as well as Wyn Jones. So Mario Itoje made 7 carries and 9 tackles. He missed just 1 tackle, made a turnover. He made 29 meters, 2 defenders beaten, 1 clean break. 2 penalties conceded from Mario Itoje though as well. So I thought he was, I mean, he's quite a divisive player for me. Itoje. I thought he was quite good. I thought he was quite physical. I was saying something. He was quite physical. Was Itoje. So I'm sort of leaning towards more a 7 than a 6. You could key in 2 penalties is not great though. So we'll go with a 6 for Itoje, I reckon. 6.9. I was tempted to go with a 7, so I'm not upset about that. Wyn Jones, but I think Itoje was actually, no, I think maybe a 7 could have been fairer. Wyn Jones, probably not his best game today. 4 carries, 7 tackles. Kind of struggled to really sort of make much of a difference. So probably going with a 5 from Wyn Jones. I don't think he had his best time. 6.2. I'm a little bit low. I wasn't particularly impressed with Wyn Jones. I thought he's actually. I think generally he's had quite a good series, and big props to him for being able to come back. But fair play to him. So 6.2, I think is pretty fair. Courtney Laws. Courtney Laws looked different. Looked busy, but I don't feel like he did. I mean, 10 carries, 7 meters, 1 defender beaten, 6 tackles, 1 missed, 1 turnover, 1 by Courtney Laws. Rugby Pass has him making only 2 tackles and missing 1. So they're a bit different with their stats. Always love how his stats are so different. And conceding 1 penalty to Courtney Laws. I'm probably leaning towards a 6 from Courtney Laws. 6 or 7. 6.2 for Wyn Jones. But it's probably better than Itoje and things. So I'll give him a 7. 6.7. I'm pretty close there. Tom Curry conceded 3 penalties, I think. I wasn't particularly impressed with Curry at all. I'm almost tempted to give him a 4 almost. 5 carries, 2 tackles from him. 3 penalties is quite a lot to give away. I mean, when you think that they conceded 16 penalties, he almost conceded a quarter of them. So I'm probably going to give a 4 or 5 for Curry. Didn't have his best game, did Curry. I'm seeing a couple of 5s. I'm seeing a couple of 4s. I'm going to be mean and say if I was a South African, if I was a British Irish Lions player, I'd probably give him a 4. 5.3. That's not too bad. Jack Conan. Well, Jack Conan had a very Jack Conan game, I thought, where he doesn't do a lot. He's not a particularly good flair player, but he does the things. He does the things that are. He does what he has to do. 6 tackles, not 1 missed, 1 turnover, 9 carries. He was pretty good under the high ball. He was. I think it was average. I think is probably the best way to put it for Jack Conan. Didn't concede a single penalty. Made his tackles when he had to make his tackles. He made the 3rd most tackles of any Lions player. Joint 3rd on the attack. He made 30 meters. The joint most for the forwards. So probably a 6 for Jack Conan. I think he's a very solid player. I don't think he's much X factor. 6.5 is fine. He's solid. He's nothing special. But he's very, very solid. You get the same thing from him every single weekend. Moving on to the backline players, Ali Price. Well, I think Ali Price, it doesn't help that his final contribution was that knock-on, which allowed the South Africans back into sort of under pressure. They didn't concede the scrum, to be fair, so they got away with it. But I don't think Ali Price had the best games. I think he could have done a bit better. I think he was quite good in the first half. I mean, he doesn't help. He didn't make it. He missed 2 tackles, didn't make a single one. He was weird because he had good moments, he had bad moments. I thought he probably one of the best. Actually, I'm saying maybe I'm being harsh on him. I don't know. As JC Grundle says, a mixed bag, because I can remember some good moments from him. I can also remember some shocking moments from him. So I suppose then you have to go and give him the sort of the average. 6.5 again. That's fine. Dan Bigger, you give a 6. He hardly played. It's not really worth. I hope he's okay and hopefully a fast recovery for Bigger. You never want to see somebody going off like that. It's not fun at all. Even, it doesn't matter who you support, you don't want to see that. So hopefully there's nothing too serious for Bigger, and he's back. Duan van der Merwe. Well, he was getting quite a lot to say about the South Africans. I don't think he'd be particularly popular. He made 1 clean break, 5 defenders beaten, 5 tackles made, didn't miss a single tackle. Did Duan? I thought he actually played. Actually, I'm trying to decide on Duan actually. Look, stats wise, he 31 meters, 6 carries, beat quite a few defenders, didn't miss a single tackle. Probably could have done more on the attack when he had the chances. I actually don't even remember seeing him much in the sort of the second half. So probably going to go with like a 4 for Duan van der Merwe. I just don't remember seeing, as I said, in the second half 6. So I've gone quite low there, but I don't really remember seeing him much. He had a good first half. But I thought the second half he was pretty average. Bongi Aki, he almost looked like somebody who was trying too hard. I mean, you can see it a really stupid penalty. He made 4 tackles. He made 11 meters in 2 defenders beaten. Bongi Aki, ready to do 2 penalties conceded. I thought one was really, really silly from Bongi Aki. He got away with it because Andre Pollard didn't kick particularly well today. He looked over-eager, but didn't really affect the game. So probably going with a 5. I don't think that they saw much of an improvement. 6, I don't really mind. I don't mind from 1 or from 2. I mean, I was quite far off here doing Van der Merwe. I just don't remember seeing him much. Henshaw was also very quiet, I thought. 3 for each penalty. Yeah, there we go, 6. Henshaw made 5 tackles, 23 meters gained, 5 defenders beaten. I thought that Henshaw was doing a lot of sort of cleaning up a lot of the time. You know, he had quite a few times where he was under a lot of pressure and having to get them out of trouble. Didn't get particularly good front foot ball. He wanted turnover on the ground, though. 6 tackles made, not a single tackle missed. His discipline was solid. He didn't concede a single penalty. He made the 2nd most meters of any backline player, beating more defenders than any backline player. So probably one of the better performers from the Lions. So we'll probably sort of go with a 6 for Robbie, 6.8. I was tempted to go with a 7, but Josh Adams looked quite threatening in the first half, and then a bit like Duvan, we didn't see him in the second half. He made 3 tackles, made 43 meters, beating 2 defenders, 1 clean break, 1 offload for Josh Adams. Didn't really see him doing much in the second half. Didn't see a single penalty. His defense was all right. Only made 1 tackle. It was not a great. Probably average for Adams, which is unusually an average 6. 7.2. That's interesting that people have gone a bit higher than he. I don't really remember seeing much of him, so I'm interested to sort of see that he's gone so high. See a lot of people in the comments saying that he didn't do particularly well. And then Liam Williams. Well, I thought that Liam Williams spilt the ball a couple of times under the high ball. He made 2 tackles, missed 1. 31 meters, 2 defenders beaten, 1 clean break. 30 meters apparently by rugby pass, 2 carries, 1 pass, defense. Missed as many tackles as he made. Didn't see a penalty. I tell you what, though, I don't think there was a lot of improvement from Liam Williams compared to Stuart Hogg. I thought he had a couple of nice takes up the air, but I don't think he was anything particularly special from Liam Williams. So I'll probably also give him an average 6. 5.8. We are pretty bang on there. Right, now the bench. Now the bench is always difficult because they don't get a lot of time. Luke Cowan-Dickie, I thought, he came off the bench. He missed the tackle, a very important tackle there on Ches and Colby. So Liam Williams, by the way. We sort of think about it. He made 6 carries and 4 tackles. Luke Cowan-Dickie, he missed 1. I'm trying to think if he missed any lineouts. So I don't think Luke Cowan-Dickie had a great game. Probably go with a 5 for Luke Cowan-Dickie. Actually wasn't particularly impressed. 6.4. People got a little bit lower. Vinipola, well, he kind of got out scrummed, didn't he? So probably a 5. 6 from him. And Carl Sinclair, probably also a 5. When you come on, you can see scrum penalties like that, 5.6. I don't think you're going to get too much. Adam Beard, it was difficult. We didn't see much of him, so I'll give him a 6. Didn't do anything wrong, didn't do much right. 6.3, that's fine. Sam Simmons, also didn't see much from him, so I'll probably give him a 6. 6.2. Conor Murray, again, not much from him, 6. I go through the bench fairly quickly. Finn Russell, I thought was fantastic, by the way. I thought that I don't think. I mean, what more could Finn Russell have done? Really, he got away with the yellow card. I don't think it would have been. I don't think it was a yellow card, but he gave away that penalty. But I think it was rough on him. But I think he's in contention for man of the match. So I'm sort of hovering around an 8 for Finn Russell. I thought he was very good. So where are we going? I don't think. What more could Finn Russell have done? He came on. He was creating things. He had a couple of nice passes. His defense was pretty solid. He kicked beautifully. Yeah, I think we can all agree. Very friendly with the ratings. Yeah, I just think that the problem is I don't want to be the person who sort of then goes and says, well, they lost, let me give them all bad ratings. I don't think the Lions were far off from being a decent side. It's funny how things would have swayed if they had actually won the game. So, I mean, I don't think there were too many really bad performers that deserve sort of less than. But I think Finn Russell's probably have an 8. 7.3. I think he was probably one of the best players on the pitch, to be honest. Kicked very well, got the back line going. Did Elliot Daly go on the pitch? He didn't. So Elliot Daly has played every single every game the entire tour, and then didn't get into the pitch in the last one. Well, we won't rate you, Elliot. Okay, we'll leave you be. We'll leave you be. Right, now we can go into the fun. Let the fun begin. Let's move to the South Africans. In South Africa. Right, Stephen Kitsoff. Well, I conceded a couple of penalties to Stephen Kitsoff. His stats read as follows: 4 carries, 8 tackles, 7 meters gained, not a single tackle missed from the Spicy Plum. What are we reckoning about Stephen Kitsoff, eh? Trying to see if we can see the penalties. 2 penalties conceded from him. 7. I'm not going to give him a 10. 8. I don't know if people are going. I think they're going for Finn Russell there as opposed to Stephen Kitsoff. Kitsoff are probably 6 or 7. I'm trying. He didn't do. I don't know. Probably a 7 for Kitsoff. He did win quite a important penalty. 6.1. Okay, so I've gone a bit high. I thought Bongi was pretty horrible. I'm almost floating around a 4 and a 3. He missed 2 bloody lineouts. He knocked the ball on under pressure. I'm kind of going with a 3 for Bongi. I thought that's probably the worst game I've seen for Bongi. 5.8, I think, is quite generous. I think if we're going to be very honest, I wouldn't mind if Bongi started next weekend. I've got no issue with Bongi as a player. I think he's a very good player. But I thought that he just had a horrible, horrible game. You know, those 2 lineouts. You know what the problem is? He kind of buckled in key situations. So those 2 lineout losses, the knock on when we won the lineout, when we won the lineout back. So maybe a 3 is a bit harsh, but I just think that it's probably, especially as somebody who we kind of hold to quite a high standard. Well, Frans Maherba, I thought, was a bit of a silent assassin once again. 6 carries, 1 tackle, a very important scrum penalty. I mean, he kind of scrummed at Wyn Jones back onto the bench. So I'll probably also go to a 7 for Frans Maherba. Bongi was subpar, slippy fingers. He had an off day to Bongi, and you're allowed to have an off day. I mean, I don't think he's going to get dropped or anything, but he just didn't have a good game. But France, I'll probably go to a 7. I thought it was pretty good again. 6.8. I can agree with that. Etzebeth, I'm leaning towards an 8. How are we feeling? I reckon Etzebeth, I think he conceded 1 silly penalty. But overall, he made a couple of very key contributions, you know, making 9 tackles, 3 carries, 3 missed tackles. I'll probably give Evan an 8. I thought he was pretty solid. Yeah, 8. We were with you. Luet Diago, I thought was pretty good until he went off. 16 tackles, by the way. 16 tackles from Luet Diago. 1 missed tackle. 2 carries from him and 1 meter gained. I think we could probably give both locks an 8. I thought Luet was very, very good. And I was worried about his fitness. And I think, you know, he did go quite early. We don't really, I mean, it's an interesting one because you want Luet to start, but if PCF the toy's back, I'm quite happy with Luet Diago coming off the bench for half an hour. I think he's a nice impact player because you just cannot drop Franco Mostert. Why would you? Franco Moster's not an impact player. He's not. He's not going to come on and suddenly get you over the advantage line and stuff like that. But he will make tackles for a full 80. He's got too good of an engine. I thought Khaleesi actually had a very nice game. In fact, I was actually very frustrated that Khaleesi got pulled off. I'm probably going to give a 7 for Khaleesi. I thought that he was playing quite well. And I didn't understand. I was quite surprised that he came off and they left Jasper Beast on. So I'll probably go to 7 for Khaleesi. I don't think he was quite Etzebeth and Lut. 7.2, I think that's nice and fair. Franco bloody Sos, my boy. And I'm biased, I'm a Lions fan because I've been watching this guy for years, and he's just the most understated, hardworking, gritty, grindy player ever. He will never win World Player of the Year. He will never be on the cover of any magazine. I mean, practically broke his nose. I mean, jeepers, I'd love to find that photo of him where he literally looked like he was on the set of 300. But he just, week in, week out, will make every tackle. He'll hit every single ruck. If anybody knows where you can find hit the ruck stats, by the way, please let me know. I really want to try and find those. I read about them. I can struggle to find a place that has them. So I'm going to go with 8 with Franco. I just think he's just a terrific player. 7.5, we can agree on that. Etzebeth's got the highest score from a Springbok player so far. Jasper Beast is an interesting one because I thought he struggled a little bit under the... Look, his stats read quite well in terms of his tackling and his carries. He made 7 carries. He made 11 tackles. But I just don't think he's got the soft skills. I think he's got the physicality, but I think he's just... there's that error there. He does a good job, but he's got that knock-on in him. He's got that silly penalty in him. He's got that, poor decision to make. I think physically we've got a nice player in there. We just need to put the mind of somebody in there. So I'll probably give him a 6. 5.2. Yeah, I don't think he had a great game. I thought him and Bongi were pretty... I suppose actually they gave Bongi a 3. I think I probably should have given Visa a 5. In fact, I'm going to give Visa a 5. Yeah, so that'll bring that down to a 5. He's a frustrating player because he's got the physical presence, but I think he just needs... It's this. And it's the skills. It's the skills that are the problem. He's kind of a bit like players of like sort of 5 to 10 years ago who didn't really have the skill set to be able to adapt. He doesn't have the best handling. He doesn't have the best awareness. He kind of concedes silly penalties. I think if you got a rugby pass, he conceded 3 penalties. Yeah, the most of any player in the field and the most of any player from the Springboks. But if we go to the back of the line, we're going to start with Kobus. I thought Kobus had a very up and down game. I'm very interested to see what people think about Kobus right now. Am I the only one that really missed Faf today? I really missed Faf today. Probably from a defensive point of view, but I thought that Kobus had a chance to try and stake a claim and didn't really take it. I think a 6 is... Yeah, we're all sort of going around a 6. He just... 6.7, I think it's a little bit generous. I think a 6 pretty bang on for Kobus. I think that Faf just brings something a little bit, whether it's that in-your-face thing, it's the defense as well, but he's just so quick in and around the park that we really, really miss Faf de Klerk. I think a lot of people agree that we missed Faf. We missed the locks. We're the locks. We get the locks going there. Pollard, what do we think about Pollard? Because I'm going to be honest, he kicked very poorly. I mean, he kicked... he left those 6 points out there, and his tactical kicking wasn't bad. A couple of strange decisions he made. So I'm probably going to go around there with Kobus in terms of that 6. He left. Yeah, I love that. Left 6 on the field, so he gets a 6. I think 6.5. So the only player that got less than him so far is Kitsoff, which I think is harsh. Bongi. And those are the only players who are scoring less than Polly. Yeah, it wasn't as good. It wasn't his game today. You cannot be leaving. He left 5 points out in the first test, 5 points out there in the second test, and 6 points out there in the third test. And I don't want to be that person, but I've always said that unfortunately, Pollard's goal kicking is good, but it's not Morné Steyn. It's not Owen Farrell. It's not even like a Richmond Wonga when he's playing really well. But it is always a little bit. He kicks relatively well most of the time, but I've never said that he's a phenomenal goal kicker. It's definitely not his best asset. His best asset is defense, his physicality, in my opinion. But he saw that kicking out. You can't be leaving those sort of points out there because they weren't hard points. The one bang in front, you cannot hit that off the post. Okay, Mapimpi. I had a very, very quiet game to Mapimpi. I mean, did he even get the ball? Did he have any ball today? He made 9 meters. I actually want to see how many carries he had. I mean, good old Makazola had 3 carries, apparently. No, that's 3 meters. He had 1 carry. For goodness me, you've got the best finisher in the world. You've got 3 carries. 3 tackles made, 2 tackles missed. Not particularly good under the high ball either, I thought, was Makazola. So I'll probably give him a 6. Yeah, I think TAS Analytics nails this year with Pollard. And that's very true. You know, if he has a good day, he'll nail 90. Like the World Cup, he had a good day. But today's, in the last couple of weeks, just didn't have that consistency. 6.8 for Makazula. I don't think that's too bad. Damien Lacanio. I thought Damien probably had a better game. Was quite good at the breakdown. Lacanio had a quiet game. So Damien's stats read as follows. 12 tackles made, 2 tackles missed, 1 turnover, 1 on the ground, a very important turnover as well. I thought Damien was very good. Probably going to, I'd say Damien was probably our best. Maybe Colby. 7 or 8 for Damien. I'll probably go 7 for Damien. And funny enough, I'm probably going to go 7.2. I'm probably going to go 7 with Lacanio as well. And I'll tell you why. He didn't have the prettiest of game. 8. That's interesting. People have gone quite high for Lacanio. 6 tackles made. They just do their job, don't they? And they do it phenomenally. I mean, have we noticed how every single game we've talked about how the opposition centers have not been particularly good, and those two are the reason. They read a game like a book. They are so clever. Lacanio makes rugby. It's almost like he's playing in slow motion. The way that he can read the book so well. So I know you can see that penalty, but I thought overall it was pretty good. Ches and Colby. Well, he scored a try. The good old Ches. He also won as a penalty. 83 tackle success rate. Probably give Colby a 9, actually. I think he's probably our best player on the day. Yeah, 8. I can go with an 8. Willie had a Willie game, didn't he? I actually thought Willie played a lot better today than he did previously. He made all his tackles. He was quite important in the try that we made. He got a try assist, 2 clean breaks. Yeah, I think I'll give Willie a 7. I thought Willie was quite good today. 6.1. I think it's a bit hard. Look, I mean, some of his kicking. No, I thought Billy was solid. I think he's a very important player, which we say all the time. But, yeah. Right, moving on to our bench. Big Trev, my boy. Here we go. Right, Malcolm Marks. Malcolm Marks was busy when he came on. He always seems to be busy when he comes on. 7 tackles made in 25 minutes. 2 tackles missed, apparently. Probably going to go with a 7 for Marks. Thought he was pretty solid. Vincent and Trevor are getting 8s. They're both getting 8s. 6.8 for Vincent Koch. Futsek, he won us the series with that penalty at the end. And Trevor, 8. He won his penalty when we were under the kosh. So they probably don't deserve 8s, but I'm giving them 8s. They won. 6.8 for either. I think it's harsh when you think that they didn't concede a single scrum penalty. They won 2 scrum penalties when they came on. Give the guys some breaks. Yeah, as I said, that's pure bias. But come now, those penalties were. Trevor made 6 tackles in 20 minutes, didn't miss a single one. Vincent Koch made 5 tackles, didn't miss a single one. They both won scrum penalties. What must we do? TS Analytics says Trevor has been the unsung hero. That penalty at the end was clutch. I was one of the doubters, but heck, the guy's been one of the best players every time he was on the field. You're not alone. We all, when he was named in the starting lineup in that first test, we all sat there saying, what's he doing there? I didn't go as far as saying that, he should be dropped. But he was under pressure. He did very well that test. He was brilliant last week, and he was brilliant today. Quacha, I thought, actually had quite a good game. I'm putting over the 7 for Quacha. 6.8. I thought that he made a couple of very important tackles. He made 15 tackles. My goodness, was he our top tackler? Him and Lewis. Well, yeah, so Quacha Smith made a lot of tackles today. For somebody who played 36 minutes, good on you, mate. Good on you. Damian Willemse gets a 6. He came on in 2 minutes to go. Herschel probably gets a 6 as well. I thought he was quite slow probably wasn't his best game. 6.3. Morne Steyn is going to get the first ever 10 in our player ratings, ever. And look, to be honest, put himself under pressure under a kick, almost stuffed up that Finn Russell grabber in behind. But he had the ease. He came on and just... Can we talk about this? Flippin' Herschel Yankees, we win a penalty in the 78th minute. right in front of the poles. And he takes a bloody quick tap. If I was Rassie Erasmus, I would have just taken him off and just smacked him around. Oh, living. I can't believe it. I'd love to get him on the podcast and say, Herschel Yankees, thank you for coming here. Can you please walk us through what went through your head when you thought, with 2 minutes to go, with a penalty in hand, to take a bloody quick tap? Oh, Herschel. Good times. But yeah, we got away with it. But gee, that was an unbelievable decision. I can't believe he did that. But Mornay Steyn, the Lord Steyn. Look, I'm not as big as Advocate. I'm not a massive Mornay Steyn fan. We know how good his kicking is. I've always, as somebody who prefers a more all-around game, but he did his job. That's why he was there. They weren't the one penalty was pretty hard. The other one wasn't, but it was all about the pressure. He's got the BMT. That's what he's there to do. Play by Yankees on the quick tap, and he got man of the match. I'm sure the Yankees did not get man of the match. I refuse to believe that. He played like 20 minutes. Does anybody know who actually got the man of the match, by the way? Who got the on-field man of the match? I'm sure Yankees are trying to get another penalty, the defender not being 10. Yeah, I think he was, but he didn't need to. He didn't need to. 2 series winning penalties, 12 years apart, take a bar stem. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Colby was man of the match. There we go. Yeah, I thought that makes more sense. I think you're coming here with bloody Herschel Young's man of the match. I was a bit confused there. It's fine, Chris. We'll forgive you. We'll forgive you. That makes a lot more sense. I was about to say if Herschel got man of the match, I'm having words with who made it. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the final player ratings of the tour, which means it is time to see who you have voted for your man of the match. And with 39% of the votes, it looks like the ones that they decided on during the TV will, in fact, be the man of the match as well. You, the Forever Sports fans, for the fans, by the fans, your final man of the match in the final game, this is me drawing it out because it's taking a while to actually come up on screen, is... Drumroll. Can we please load this, YouTube? What's going on here? Okay, well, it's Ches and Colby. I'm going to tell you it now because it's taking a long time to come up. But Ches and Colby is the man of the match. He wins 39% of the votes. He was the man of the match as voted by Supersport as well as voted by you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that really. I just want to say a massive thank you for a phenomenal tour. We move on. We move straight into... Rugby Championship. So obviously next week it's going to be all in that. I've got to design myself a new studio, get some more sort of stuff up on the walls and stuff. We will be live on Tuesday for the British and Irish Lions Awards evening. We're going to be giving away awards for best player, best moment. I've already got a best moment in my mind. Worst moment, biggest mistake, and stuff like that. So we'll be doing that on Tuesday. We will also be launching our brand deal, which will be really, really cool. So come and join us on Tuesday. We'll probably be live at about 9:30, I reckon, if I had those as a guess. A bit of a late one, but ironically, the later one seems to be doing better. So come and hang out. We'll have both press conferences up from both coaches and captains, stuff like that on the channel as well. So keep an eye out for that later. Please do keep safe out there. Smash like on the video. Once again, a massive thank you from all of us at Forever Sports, not just me. And we'll see you guys at the next one. Please continue subscribing. We are 221 away from 5,000 subscribers, which is really, really quite amazing. So thank you and keep well.